Good evening, Lake Orion. Well, it's been quite a fun day. I'm your host, and I am Between Taorminas.
Baby Nene!
Yes, indeed, Lake Orion. This is Between Taorminas on ONTV. I'm your host, Anthony Taormina. And for those of you guys wondering where Ian Weatherspoon is, well, let me address something with Mr. Weatherspoon. Ian Weatherspoon. Why? Simple. Look, bottom line is this. You haven't showed up on the show. This is your third straight week in a row. And instead, what you've done this week now is you have to watch your girlfriend's doggy. Ian, when are you going to come on and honor your commitments? That is a good question. I mean, you're letting your fans down. You're letting those who love you, you're letting them down. And why do you have top billing at the end credits? I don't understand that. You don't show up, and you don't and you get top billing on the top billings in the end credits. Ian, you need to start showing up more often. I mean that. Who knows? Maybe we should replace the host. Maybe I should be the host. Who knows?
But I found somebody who can replace you as host.
Who?
The baby 00 trophy. The baby Nene. This is a trophy here that's accomplished everything. It's been suffering because it's been in Bud Riley's basement in a closet for 20 years. But I'm telling you, this is a trophy here that would be a perfect host.
You think a 00 trophy would replace Ian Weatherspoon as host?
Absolutely, because here's why. Ian Weatherspoon's in Kansas City, Missouri right now, enjoying life.
He is?
Yes.
Ian Weatherspoon's in Kansas City, Missouri, enjoying life?
We just had the trade deadline today.
Ian Weatherspoon's in Kansas City, Missouri, enjoying life.
Yeah, because here's why. The 00 trophy is a perfect replacement for Ian Weatherspoon. Because here's why. Because one, it's here. Two, it could be a great, and of course, we all know that the 00 trophy, we all know in the Palace of Wisdom, that Ian Albert Weather, that the 00 trophy tells you things. Like, it's told me in the last few days that I'm better looking, I'm better than Bill Reese and everything. And I support winning hockey teams than Bill Reese. And I support better sports teams than Bob Bridges.
I feel like I'm talking to delusional Sammy here.
I'm not delusional, I'm not crazy.
I think you need to go to the loony bin.
I'm not going to loony bin.
I do think you need to go to loony bin.
I'm not going to loony bin.
Okay, so let's talk about these trade moves. These moves that...
I'm curious about these moves. Let's talk about the Tigers first and what they did.
Yeah, Tigers stay put. But they've got two big sweeps. They're now 4.5 back of the Cleveland Indians.
Yes, they are. Mm-hmm.
So explain that one.
Well, here's the thing. They're 4.5 back of Cleveland. They are of the Indians. They're 4.5. I mean, they're playing good baseball right now. But when you look at this team, could this team keep it last? And you look at this schedule, they still got to play. They still got to play Cleveland 7 more times. They've got to play Kansas City. They still got to play Kansas City. They got to play Boston one more time. You know?
They have a big series with them at the end of the month.
Right. So when you look at the Tigers, they're playing a favorable schedule right now. But end of the day, are you sure they can trust the Kansas City Royals?
But are you surprised that the Royals stayed put? Are you surprised that the White Sox stayed put?
I'm surprised Chicago stayed put because
there was a lot of sale consideration.
Because Chicago stayed put basically because of this exact reason. They didn't have enough trade offers for Chris Sale or Jose Quintana. And end of the day, they benefited from it, you know. But I'm surprised Chicago didn't make any moves, and I'm surprised that Kansas City didn't make any moves, you know.
Now, Cleveland made a move.
Oh yeah, Cleveland made a big
They got Andrew Miller.
Well, they also got Brandon Guy from Tampa Bay because I like the Brandon Guy trade from Tampa Bay because he's an outfielder. Cleveland needs outfield help. They don't know what's going to happen with Milton Bradley when he comes back. Andrew Miller is going to make them a closer, basically, based on the impact of what they're going to do. But when I look at what Cleveland made, this is a significant upgrade for the Indians compared to what I would say. I'd say if I had to pick a big winner right now, it's either Cleveland or Texas.
I'd say maybe Texas, because look who Texas got.
Right.
They
And
essentially got a rental in Beltran.
right, Carlos Beltran.
And
And
then
they got Jared Jeffries, who was a closer for the Brewers, and also Jonathan Lucroy.
Yep.
Lucroy, of course, remember, let's not forget, had a limited no trade clause, which included
They included Cleveland
and
and
the
included
Tigers.
the Tigers.
Because I
Now
guess,
explain why it didn't include the Tigers or the Indians.
you know, with Cleveland, the situation with them is Cleveland's got a catcher named Yan Gomes. Of course, he's out for a little bit, and they couldn't guarantee playing time. Whereas you look at the Tigers situation, you got a guy named James McCann, and he might have been sharing catching duties.
And he didn't want that.
And he didn't want that. And, of course, you have a guy named Jared Saltzman-Makia. So what's the point of going here to the Tigers? And you look at what Texas had was they're not as strong a catcher as people think. And then I'm surprised how that deal turned out because it didn't include Joey Gallo because Milwaukee really wanted Gallo in the deal, but to bring in Carlos Beltran, that's going to probably look at the Gallo's days in the major leagues is right now pretty much over. He might be going back to Round Rock, which is the minor AAA affiliate of the Texas Rangers. So I think at the end of the day, it's going to affect the Texas Rangers a lot more than the with Gallo going down the Round Rock because because you got Beltran at third base and then you got and outfield's pretty cramped. You know what I mean? When you look at Jerkison Profar who can play that position of
Are
right
you surprised the Yankees were
No.
game sellers?
No, because look what they're going to do. They're set up for the future next year. Their prospects are deep. They got 2 or 3 Cleveland's top prospects. They got a couple top prospects from Texas, and then of course they got some prospects for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Of course, no, I'm not surprised at what they did. I mean, I think the Yankees were winners in here, getting some big time prospects coming in to their organization, and that's something to say about the Yankees. And that this is a team that is forced to they're gonna rebuild quickly. And of course, you look at whose contracts are up. Mark Teixeira's contract's up, and Steroid's contract is up. So basically, you look at that situation. I think that the Yankees benefited from this trade deadline by being sellers.
The Twins actually got somebody.
You know, I do like it because I like what the Twins did. Santiago from the Angels for Nolasco. I think it's a great deal for him. For the Twins. Santiago pitching at Big Pitchers Park at Target Field. It benefits him.
Toronto made some moves too.
Melvin
competing with
Upton,
Boston
Joaquin
and Baltimore.
Benoit, and then Scott Field for Houston. I'm surprised Houston didn't make any moves. I think Houston would have been much better off if they would have made a move. Let's talk more about the segment when we get back.
All right, we'll be right back.
We
with
should
Twin
have Ian
Taorminas on
Weatherspoon here.
ONTV.
When I'm in Lake Orion and I want to catch up on sports, I watch Between Taorminas.
Hello, I'm Oakland County Sheriff Mike Bouchard.
And I'm former Detroit Red Wing Joe Koster.
We'd like to remind you to practice safe boating by knowing the laws regarding water safety.
Please make sure you have the necessary safety equipment on board and be sure all of your equipment is working properly before leaving the dock.
and the probability of being involved in a boating accident nearly doubles when alcohol is involved. Always check local weather conditions, and if you notice darkening clouds, play it safe. Get off the water. Have a safe, enjoyable summer on the lake.
We own a Habitat home.
I love working on my Habitat home.
Soy dueño de una casa de Habitat.
My neighbor is a Habitat homeowner.
Being a Habitat homeowner has changed our lives.
My mortgage payment for Habitat is less than what I pay for rent.
Habitat for Humanity of Oakland County currently has homes available with mortgage payments lower than most rent payments. If you or someone you know needs decent and affordable housing, call 248-338-1843 or visit our website at habitatoakland.org.
Welcome back to Between Taorminas here on ONTV. We wanted to talk about more of the
Baby trophy! Baby trophy! Isn't this a
outside of
great
that.
trophy?
Let's talk about the Blue Jays moves.
Okay.
What do you think about those?
I like what Toronto did, kind of, because, as you know, they're in a AL East wild card race with Boston and Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at the situation that they made. It's a great acquisition of Melvin Upton. I like that move. Joaquin Benoit is going to give him a reliever in the bullpen.
He's not what he used to be.
No, but Scott Fieldman also same type of player. I mean, these three guys are basically very good players, very good prospects.
Well, we saw how Joaquin Benoit did in Detroit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but remember, he was pretty good. But remember who was closing for him? Your boy, Jose Valverde.
My boy?
No, that's Ian's boy, Jose Valverde.
Well, he does like the Kansas City Royals. He does like the...
Well, Ian Weatherspoon's got a lot of things, you know? Here's things what Ian Weatherspoon does. Every time Jose Valverde gave up 3 runs in a game, he's just going like, woo! Woo! That's Ian Weatherspoon for you. That is Ian Weatherspoon.
Wow. So, but you think the Joaquin Benoit move...
I like the Joaquin Benoit deal because here's why. Joaquin Benoit basically is a player that he basically is a addition. You know what I mean? He can pitch at least 2-3 innings. You know, get you some relief if you need it. I mean, he's a good 7th inning guy, good 8th inning guy if you need him to. I mean, good pickup for Toronto. And then of course you got. I like this Blue Jay team. I really do. I think they're one of the favorites coming out of the East. I mean, Boston's not the same team they used to be, even though they did upgrade today, picking up Abad from Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also disappointed Baltimore didn't do anything. You know,
Right.
Baltimore really didn't do anything to impress me. You know, I mean, to do much.
Dodgers made some moves.
Yeah, but their outfield's kind of a mess now because you got Puig. They've thought about trading Puig. Yasiel Puig. Now, Puig is one of my favorite players. And that's because it's pretty simple. I like Puig, you know. Now, unfortunately, I had to drop my fantasy baseball team a couple times, but, you know, but Puig is an interesting trade chip now. He ended up not going to, he's staying with the Dodgers. It's an interesting dynamic, basically. I really like what the Dodgers did, picking up Josh Reddick and Rick Hill. Of course, it makes it very interesting now that both of them are on the Dodgers. And also, I like Jesse Chavez from Toronto. I think he's going to be an interesting acquisition for the Dodgers. I mean, they made some moves, and they had to make some moves today to get.
Do you think that people are talking about a potential Indians-Cubs World Series? Do you think that'll happen?
See.
Why?
Yes. Here's why. Cleveland's got one of the most scariest bullpens in the league. And you got
Do I feel like I'm talking about Kansas City verse 2?
Yes, this is Kansas City Part 2. Andrew Miller you got Andrew Miller, and you got, I think it's Cody Allen in the in the bullpen for Cleveland. Scary lefty-righty combination.
Yeah.
Chicago, you could bring in Rondon. You can bring in your closer is Aroldis Chapman. I think this is the year that one of these two teams, Chicago and Cleveland, are going to have their curse vindicated. And you look at it here, I've felt bad for the Chicago Cubs for nearly 110 years. They suffered. They're like the Kansas City Royals. They suffered. The Boston Red Sox, remember, 1918. They suffered.
End of World War I.
Yes. Ian Albert Weatherspoon has not suffered. The Detroit Tigers have not suffered.
Last time they won a World Series, 84.
Yes, but I'm telling you right now, Ian Weatherspoon needs to go to the city of Cleveland.
Why?
That is a perfect city for him.
Why?
Because it'd be nice for him to go in Lake Erie.
Lake Erie's a good place to swim at.
Oh, very good place. You know, it's very shallow. I mean, it could be one of the toughest Great Lakes. I mean, like, Cleveland's also a great city. Great people there in Cleveland. Great people there.
I'm scared for you.
How are you scared for me?
You're delusional.
I'm not delusional.
You're talking to this thing.
Yeah, because this thing's telling me the truth about Bob Bridges and Bill Reese.
You talk about, and then also you think that you also think that the do you think Pittsburgh Pirates are going to contend?
No.
You don't think so?
No. The only guy, Ivan Nova, I like him, but I don't think they're going to contend. The New York Mets situation's an absolute mess. They just proved me why they're a loser. They're still losers by acquiring Jay Bruce. Their outfield situation's an absolute disaster. And then you got, so
there wasn't really a lot of impressive moves at the trade
got
line.
Matt Moore from Tampa Bay and Smith from Milwaukee.
Are they contending in the NL West?
Yeah, I think they are. I mean, San Francisco, yeah, they're contending in the West, yes.
Isn't that the Dodgers division to lose?
Not exactly, because you got San Francisco battling.
Oh.
You know, you got I'm surprised the Diamondbacks stayed put a little bit. You know, they traded some of their Tyler Clippers to the Yankees. The Yankees aren't dead yet. So
no, I didn't say they were dead.
They're not dead yet.
They don't usually sell at the deadline.
They don't usually sell. It's the first time, but they got prospects coming, and they can get rid of Teixeira's contract and steroids contract.
You think that
steroid?
You think A-Rod leaves at the end of the year?
He's done. Like, he can go take his steroids with him. You know, like, can you just imagine? I know the Yankees announced to go like, "An A-Bob for A-Rod." Like, can you go like this? A steroid for A-Royd.
Wow, that's actually a good personation of the announcer.
Yes, it is.
So, any final thoughts over the trade deadline?
You know, it's sad that Ian Weatherspoon can't talk to us today. It's disappointing because this would have been right up his alley.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's sad and it's terrible. I know he's probably throwing stuff right now in his house right now. But you know what? It is what it is.
We'll be right back with Between Taorminas here on ONTV. Hello, Oakland County. This is Sammy Taormina talking OA Now. In it, we'll talk various stories from ranging from the state to Oakland County teams affecting the OAA. Catch us here on OA Now. Hello, Lake Orion. It's Anthony Taormina, co-host of Between Taorminas. I want to let you know of a new show called History Now. In it, we're going to talk about global, national, and political events that occur in our lifetime. We're going to also have guests and also have co-hosts as well, and also plenty of surprises. Catch us on History Now here on ONTV. Welcome back to Between Taorminas here on ONTV. Well, I got to do one more final thing to my good friend Ian Weatherspoon, who is not here today. Ian, you got to do a better job at defending yourself on TV. Right now, it's just not the same without you being able to defend yourself on TV. I mean, Ian, this is the third straight week in a row, man.
Who is he?
You gotta come on TV and defend yourself. Otherwise, you're losing viewers. We're losing viewers.
Baby
you know,
Day-Day?
Ian, just
Baby
gotta
Day-Day?
come on.
Baby Day-Day. I know we got the Olympics coming up this weekend. And I know you're upset about Russia.
Why?
Because it got banned from the Olympic Games.
Only their track and field team got banned. They didn't. Their whole team didn't get banned.
Baby Nene, what do you mean that the United States have a chance to win the gold medal in basketball?
They're supposed to. They're favored.
Baby Nene, why are the Blue Blazers in soccer? You gotta give an edge to Brazil. You gotta give an edge to Italy. You think that the Americans got no chance? I agree with you. They got no chance.
What?
Hey! In women's soccer, they do have a chance. But in men's soccer, not a chance. Hey!
Okay. First things first. Portugal won the whole thing in Euro.
Yep.
So what makes you think Portugal's not favored to win World Cup?
Because they got Cristiano Ronaldo.
What makes you think that the European teams are not favored in the World Cup?
I mean, you got Germany in there,
Germany's in there, Italy's in there. Italy's not the strongest Italy team we've seen.
Argentina just lost Messi.
Yes.
I just think when you look at it here, this is a perfect opportunity for a European team to win gold. And I think that European team that's going to win gold is Portugal. And
can't count out Germany. You can't count out Spain. You can't count out France. You can't count out Italy. You can't count out we saw a successful European Cup.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, if there's a best North American team, you think I'm going to be crazy. But I like Colombia. I like Mexico.
Colombia's a pretty good team.
I think Colombia's the best North American team right now.
You think so?
They're South American, sorry.
You think so, even over Brazil, even over...
I think Colombia's better than Brazil right now.
Even over Argentina?
Well, remember, Messi's gone.
Right.
I mean, so basically, I think Colombia's better than Argentina right now, and I think they're better than Brazil right now. And I think if there's the best North American team, it's Mexico.
Mexico?
Mexico, yep.
Why?
Because when you look at Mexico, this is a team that,
Why? The United States has been better than Mexico.
Mexico's got something to prove.
The United States is better than Mexico.
No, they're not. I think
you're crazy.
Mexico's gonna make an impact in Rio, but I think the United States can get a tough draw in the group. In the group stage, you're gonna have a very tough draw.
And they always had been in the kiss of death. They were in that in 2012, weren't they?
They're gonna be in a tough group, and I think at the end of the day, I don't think the United States gets through in group stage.
We'll have to find out the draws.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so you're saying, aren't they also favored in women's basketball too?
They're gonna run ramshot on men, women, basketball. They're gonna run ramshot in that.
What about women's soccer? Japan's probably gonna be a challenge.
Japan will be a challenge, I think, for them. But I think the Americans will be favored in that one. They're ranked number 1 in the world. They're really number 1 in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the talent they got.
So you think the impact on Russia? Russia's actually hosting their own.
They hosted their own games.
Games. They're hosting their own games for those that were caught cheating and doping.
I heard they didn't have a lot of fanfare there.
They didn't.
I heard they did not.
Because it was so
late in the process.
Late in the process, maybe poorly booked.
Yeah.
But
still, I'd say.
So you think it's a humiliation?
It's a humiliation, yes.
So you think they should be back?
No.
Okay. So you don't think they should be back?
No, they shouldn't be back, But
so
we all know today Ian Weatherspoon didn't make it. But then again, it's always nice having you here for 2 straight weeks. It's more quiet, more peaceful.
So you're saying that... Oh, okay.
Hashtag dump Ian.
Dump Ian hashtag.
Yep. Or Ian hashtag be royal.
Ian's got to say.
Or hashtag dump Ian be royal. Wouldn't that be perfect?
Well, I expect Ian will be back next week.
Uh-huh.
Spoon will be back next week, and he'll proudly come on here and he'll explain and he'll answer his critics, he'll answer his fans, he'll answer everybody why he hasn't been on the last 3 weeks.
I know he wanted to talk to us today.
I know.
But it's disappointing. It's unfortunate.
Well, Got any final thoughts this week?
Well, when you look at the situation, how it's going on, of course, high school football starts next week.
That's coming up.
It's going to be very interesting how
fall sports start.
Fall sports start up, especially when you look at next week. Volleyball starts in the shape, of course. Cross country, you got boys tennis starting up. I mean,
boys soccer.
Boys soccer starting up. I mean, a lot of interesting things going around, and it's always an interesting thing when high school sports start because that tells me that it's the beginning of school. And today was the first day of school at Carpenter.
Yeah, it's the beginning of school for a lot of
year-round schools.
A lot of the year-round schools started back up.
Today was the first day of school for Carpenter.
Yeah, Carpenter's one of them.
Mm-hmm. So it was a kind of a very interesting, I didn't know it was August 1st. We're getting close to the end of summer already. We're getting ready to get into fall. The leaves are going to start turning green.
Turning red and
yellow. I mean, then
fall starting back up. That means NFL camp started up today.
Oh yes. Dallas Cowboys started their camp up. Yep. And I think when you look at the season, I can't wait for fantasy football season.
Well,
you and me are both going to be in our own
ONTV Fantasy Football League.
Yep, and us the ONTV Fantasy Football League. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that one. I'm torn between either two names that I've always had, Pink Panther or Heinz Doofenshmirtz. That should be. I should let our viewers decide that. Do you think I should?
No, that'll do it for this week's episode of Between
Give me one reason. Hey, give me one reason.
All right, I'll see you soon.
Hey, no.